These series of audio lectures are specially created to reduce your eye strain and enhancing listening ability and stress-free preparation and revision. So close your eyes and listen. Continuation of Chapter 2, Biological Classification, Part 2, Kingdom Fungi. Its unique heterotrophic kingdom with much diversity in habitat and morphology and present in warm and humid places. Fungi are usually filamentous. Yeast are unicellular as exception. And filamentous is known as the hyphae that forms the mycelium and all filaments as mycelium. In some hyphae are multinucleate accepted are called sinusotic hyphae that contain more than one nucleus. Others have septate hyphae. Cell wall has chitin and rarely cellulosic in some. Most of them are saprophytic, some are parasitic, and still others are symbiotic in nature and form mycorrhiza with roots and lichen with algae. Vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation in kingdom fungi. Fission and budding is also possible. Asexual reproduction by conidia, sporangiospores, and zoospores are also found. Sexual reproduction through oospore, ascospore, and basidiospore are also possible. Ascospores and basidiospores are formed in fruiting bodies. Fruiting bodies help to form spores. Sexual cycle has plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. In Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, there is an intervening dikaryotic stage that is N plus 1, N plus N that is present, that's 2N. Based on morphology of mycelium, nature of fruiting body, and formation of spore, it's divided into various classes. Class 1, Phycomycetes. The word phyco means algae. So these are lower fungi and algal fungi found in aquatic habitats, decaying woods in moist and damp places, or as obligate parasites on plants. It has two subclasses, Oomycetes and Zygomycetes. Important feature. As common name is algal fungi, mycelium is sinusotic and branched, but they are aseptate. Cell wall is cellulosic in Oomycetes and chitinous in Zygomycetes. Asexual spores. Zoospores are motile and aplanospores are non-motile. Aplanospores are non-motile. Asexual spores. Spores are endogenous. Sexual reproduction occur by fusion of similar gametes, isogamous or dissimilar gametes, anisogamous or oogamous. Plazo- Plasmogamy is immediately followed by karyogamy without dikaryophase. Sexual spore, that is oospore in Oomycetes, zygospores in Zygomycetes. Class Ascomycetes or sac fungi. They are saprophytic parasitic nature and body is rarely unicellular or non-mycelial. For example, yeast, mostly mycelial, found in Paramecium aspergillus. Mycelium is branched, septate, and monokaryotic, that's the primary mycelium. Asexual spores by conidia, that is a thin-walled, non-motile, endogenous spores. Sexual reproduction by conjugation, for example, yeast. Gametogonial contact, for example, penicillium, is found. Karyogamy, meiosis, and ascospores formation occur inside the ascus. Show dikaryophase, that is N plus N, is present in between plasmogamy and karyogamy. Fruiting bodies are called ascocarp, formed in sexual life cycle and contain asci, ASCI. Note. Other example like Saccharomyces, that's yeast, Aspergillus flavus, Neurospora crassa, Clavisec purpurea, that claviceps are important source of LSD drugs. Ergot of eye, Penicillium, Moschella morels. Morels are edible ascocarp. Truffles, they are edible tuber-like subterranean ascocarp. Class Basidiomycetes. They include bracket fungi, mushrooms, puffball, rust, and smut fungi. Common name. Club fungi because they produce club-shaped basidium for the formation of basidiospore in sexual life cycle. Mycelial structure. Secondary mycelium, that is N plus N, dikaryotic dominant and long-lived phase. Primary mycelial, N is a monokaryotic and short-lived phase and develops from germination of basidiospore. Septa possesses dolipore, central pore with barrel-shaped outgrowth. Sexual reproduction. Sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy is brought about by fusion of two vegetative or somatic cell different genotypes. Clan connections are present. They are meant for proper distribution of dikaryon at the time of cell division. Basidium is the place of karyogamy, meiosis, formation of basidiospores, and is produced from secondary mycelium. Sexual spore. Basidiospores are four in number and produced exogenously at the tip of sterigmata. Fruiting body is called bastiocarp. Note. Example Agaricus campestris, that is edible mushroom that can be cooked and eaten. Ustilago tritica or triticum, loose smut of wheat. Puccinia graminis tritici, that is the black rust disease of wheat. Class Deuteromycetes or imperfect fungi. They are saprophytes, parasites, and many member help in mineral recycling and decomposition of litter. Sexual reproduction is not known here once the perfect stage of sexual stage was discovered. They are shifted to Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes if sexual stage is discovered. Reproduces by conidion, that's the asexual spore. Example, Alternaria solani, the early blight of potato, Colitotrichum fal. You can understand by red rot of sugar cane, that is Colitotrichum falcatum. Brown leaf spot of rice can be caused by Helminthosporum oryzae, and Trichoderma is one of the famous example of Deuteromycetes. Kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae having the chlorophyll containing eukaryotic organisms. Some are partial heterotrophs like Eutrica or bladder oat. That's a Eutricaluria, that is something close to Holozoic nutrition, and Dionia, that is a Venus flytrap. That's the insectivorous and parasite like the cuscuta. So these are not photosynthetic if it is parasitic. Cellulose cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Plantae include algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperm, that is the flowering plants. Their life cycle has two distinct phases. Diploid phase, sporophyte, and haploid is gametophyte that alternate with each other. The lengths of haploid and diploid phase and whether these phases are free living or dependent on others. vary among different plants group. They show alternation of generation. Kingdom Animalia. These are multicellular, heterotrophic, eukaryotic, and lack cell wall. In tunicates, you can see the cellulose-like cell wall. In animals, they digest food in internal cavity and store them as glycogen or fat in liver and muscle. They show holozoic nutrition. Higher organisms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Most of them are capable of locomotion. They follow a definite growth pattern. Adults have definite size and shape. Sexual reproduction is by copulation of male and female followed by embryological development. Virus, viroids, prion, and lichen. Virus, viroids, lichen had no position in Whitaker's five kingdom concept, and these are acellular organisms or biological entity. Virus. Virus are ultramicroscopic obligate parasites made up of nucleic acid and proteins. Quote, virus are neither living nor non-living and connecting link between living and non-living creature. Pasteur coined the term virus. Ivanovsky discovered them smaller organisms than bacteria that cause mosaic disease in tobacco. Bejernik described them as contagium vivum or vivum fluidum, that is contagious living fluid in 1898, that common viral disease or flu. Stanley crystallized them and showed their particular nature consisting largely of proteins. Viruses have either DNA or RNA as genetic material, but not both at the same time. The protein code that protects the nucleic acid of virus called capsid and made up of capsomere arranged either in helical or polyhedral manner. Disease like mumps, measles, smallpox, herpes, influenza, dengue, COVID, SARS, AIDS are the examples. In plants, they cause mosaic, leaf rolling, curling, yellowing, vein clearing, dwarfing, and stunting disease. Prions. Prions are abnormally folded proteins that cause disease of central nervous system. They cause mad cow or bovine spongiform encephalopathies or encephalitis disease in cattle, scurvy in growth, goat or ruminants, and sheep, kuru in man, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in man. Viroids. Viroids are infectious nucleic acid particles discovered by Diner in 1971. These are made up of circular, single-stranded, low molecular weight RNA without protein code. They cause disease like potato spindle tumor and citrus ixocortosis. There is a separate video on it, so you can listen it for revision. Viroids are smaller than virus. Lichens. Lichens are symbiotic thallophytes made of an algal partner that is phycobiont and that is mostly green algae and fungal partner mycobiont that is the mostly sac fungi in nature. Algae make food for fungi and fungi absorb minerals and water and provide shelter to the algae. These are indicators of air pollution and do not grow in polluted areas. So good bioindicator, mainly sulfur dioxide, pollution can be detected. Lichens are perennial and grow slowly. This is the end of the chapter and the lecture. I hope it will help you. So you can share and subscribe with your friends. And for more videos, lecture, board work, you can stay tuned to my channel. Thank you for listening.